Hello and welcome to the Manifestation Queen podcast. How is everyone doing? My beautiful co-creators. Well, you guys know this is where reality bends to meet your frequency. This is where we embody our full brilliance, where daily miracles, perfect love, and inner harmony become a way of being. Here, we receive more by doing less, refine our perception, and adjust our crowns as needed. And if this episode landed in your field, it's because you're here on purpose. So make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, anything that comes through that you feel called to share. If you want to connect, don't be shy, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up. And today I am here to answer some questions, just have a nice connection with you guys and have fun. I had such an incredible past 2 weeks. I feel like so much has been going on. We have officially launched Play Bigger. If you can see back here, this is the Play Bigger. It's a 2-day challenge. We did our pregame yesterday. Day 1 was today. It has been completely life-changing. We completely sealed the energy leaks in businesses. We looked at the constraints, we did a diagnosis, we sealed frequency leaks and all the leaks in your life. And that way we operate from this complete and wholeness and let everything flow through us with ease, with a knowing, with all the things and where we can receive more by doing less like we do. I also want to mention that there is a special, very, very special for anyone who subscribed to this podcast to join the High Vibe Collective, where we go into all of this framework, right? Where we can strategize, where we can harmonize, where we can frequency attune, where we have this sisterhood, this community. And so I have a beautiful offer for you at the end of this call that I will share and an invitation to the High Vibe Collective. So stay tuned for that at the end because you don't want to miss it. What has been going on? My life has been just progressing at such fast momentum in the best of ways. The synchronicity levels have been at an all-time high, and I've just been calling in so much beauty and synchronicity, and I have a very, very special guest coming on next week. The alignment has been insane. Cannot make this stuff up, you guys, and it's just so much fun, and it gets to get better and better every moment. There is no lack, right? And so I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday. And I have a few questions here that we can touch on. I actually want to start this call with a quick scripture read from my favorite book, God Speaks Wealth. It's a good daily devotional, and it's day 14. It says nothing to fear. So I know this is meant for somebody because I'm feeling called to read it. It's pretty random, but this morning I was like, you know what? Someone needs to hear this. So it says, you might sometimes feel so vulnerable and overwhelmed by the odds against you, like a fragile little flock of lambs amidst wolves. You have nothing to fear. It is your Father's delight to give you the kingdom. From now on, do life from a different perspective. Stuff does not define you. Exchange whatever it was that you've been doing all along under the old system of performance for this new life of adventure. Get it over and done with. Be compassion driven in your sharing and giving. And this takes hoarding out of the equation. Instead, become creative in the adventure of trading with a new kind of purse, one that is loaded with heaven's currency, a treasure which cannot be exhausted. Since it cannot be broken into or stolen, neither can it be ruined by moths. And that is Luke 12:32-33 out of the Mirror Bible. And it's by Francois Dutoit. He is the author of the Mirror Bible, and this was his daughter's book, Tahila Ludig. So God Speaks Wealth. Incredible, right? And like, how can we do that, right? Heaven's currency is in our purse. A treasure that cannot be exhausted, cannot be broken into or stolen, and neither can it be ruined by moths. How powerful is that, you guys? Like, that's what we're working with here. Nothing can be stolen, nothing can be taken. There is no lack. There's only abundance. There's only things working in your favor. And if you forgot, I'm here to remind you. So take that in for a moment, breathe it in. How does it feel to have heaven's currency in your purse, to have heaven's currency in your wallet, to have no worries because this inner knowing that God has placed within your heart, the kingdom of God is within your heart, and there is no wonder, there is no fear. It's non-existent when you have the kingdom of God within you, when you have heaven's currency in your purse, when you have the overflow of abundance within your veins, all encompassing, all knowing blood flowing through your veins. Okay, so shall we get started? Today we're going to answer some questions that some of you guys have gave me. And so one of the questions is, okay, you teach devotion over discipline, and ease is the evidence of alignment. But what does that look like on the days when nothing is landing and you're tempted to force it? What a good question. So let me just feel in really quick. Okay, so on days that you're tempted to force it, right? When those days that you feel like things are getting a little rough, a little uncertain, and you just want that certainty, you just want that confirmation. What I like to do is, one, check in with my body. How am I feeling? Because our feeling is our state, right? And also say yes to that, right? If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling sad, I immediately say yes to it. Say yes to it some more. This is a Lawrence Crane technique. And you're feeling sad, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling worried, okay? Say yes to those feelings. Say yes to them some more. And just watch it get smaller and smaller. And just say yes again. Yeah, I'm feeling sad. Yeah, I'm feeling worried. Yeah, I'm feeling anxious. Okay. Yes, I say yes to it. I say yes to that feeling some more. I say yes to that feeling some more. And you start to notice it gets smaller. And it gets a little bit smaller. And then it just starts to dispel, right? It gets a little lighter. The heaviness just starts to get lighter and dispel into this lighter version. And the more you can say yes to it, the less that resistance occurs. And you get to just get a little bit softer and you're being a little less tense. And then once you get to that neutral space, right? Am I feeling neutral? If you still feel it, that's fine. Say yes to it some more until you get to that baseline, okay? And then once you get to that baseline, you can start to say, okay, what is the vision here? What is most important to me? What am I devoted to, right? What do I know in my truth? What is eternally true for me? Okay, and this is what we teach in the High Vibe Collective. This is stuff that we tap into bi-weekly on our live calls. We go a little deeper in these techniques, but we get to tap into that being of where we operate from and that inner knowing. And that's essentially what I bring all of my clients to, is that relaxed inner knowing. So take that technique with you, run with it, use it, play with it, see how it feels. It is such a game changer for me. Okay, and so the next question is, what is a spiritual or manifestation teaching that you used to believe that you've completely outgrown, and what replaced it? And I can answer that really easily. So one technique that I used to believe, which I still think that this can be applicable, right? But like kind of like the technique I just walked you through, it's where we say like how you feel is what you get. And I think that there is this misconception about it, because if we got what we feel every time, I think we would, I don't know where it would be, because I have felt pretty bad sometimes and I felt pretty great sometimes. But my point is, things are working in our favor no matter what. So I think that the doing and that really strict manifestation beliefs where you have to have your thoughts in order, you have to have these affirmations every day, I think that it makes those harder moments a little more harsher, and we start to think that, oh gosh, like I know these techniques, I know these manifestation skills, like why am I thinking these bad thoughts? Why am I feeling so down on myself? Why isn't the outcomes working? And you can start to feel like there is this misfiring going off in your body. And so what I like to do now is know that even in those hard times, things are still working in your favor. You don't have to have it right. You don't have to have your frequency perfect every day. But once we get to that state of neutrality, and then we can bring our vibe upwards, we can go higher on that vibrational emotional scale. It makes you feel better, because essentially we want to soothe ourselves. We want to be held. We want to be heard. We want to be understood. We want to be felt. We want to be seen, right? And we want to have love respond to us. And so a lot of time, love to me doesn't look like, well, what were you thinking in this moment? What caused you to have this headache? Why do you have this headache? You caused it. Why do you have this illness? You caused it. Why did you have this outcome? You caused it. What caused this? No. You get to have these experiences not because you caused them, but because you're just meant to come a little bit closer to that intimacy with God, to get to know yourself a little bit deeper, and to just really feel into that depth that you're being called to meet yourself at, even in those times. So that's something that I feel really passionate about. And I hope someone lands with that too, because I know that that's such a contradicting manifestation tip, right? And they all simultaneously get to coexist, right? We are in this plethora of the microcosm and the macrocosm, of the duality, of the polarity. And so it's all whole, it's all complete. Like nothing is separate from the other. And that includes the dark days, it includes the light days, it includes the feelings at that entire scale, right? So just remember that as you're navigating through this beautiful, beautiful, abundant, and perfect life. So leave something in the comment too if that landed with you, what you think about that. I love to hear your guys' thoughts. I really, really want to know, like, if you tried these techniques, come back a week later, tell me what occurred for you, how that landed for you, how that implemented into your life, right? One other thing that I have been working on is a beautiful forgiveness letter. So in my mentorship, a beautiful lady named Gina, I can probably tag her in here, she shared a Neville Goddard technique. And so this is going to change your guys' life, you guys. And what she shared is, through these letters, she wrote them from the person who she was experiencing a rough interaction with, something that was a little undesirable. And she wrote a letter to herself from that person. And this is a Neville Goddard technique. And so she wrote the letter and said, it was her ex-husband, right? So she wrote the letter and said, Gina, thank you for being such an incredible mother. They were divorced, or they were going through a custody battle in court. And so she wrote this letter, and she wrote it from what she wanted to hear from him to herself, as if it was from him, right? And so it's a future memory, because we go back to these memories and like we have these visceral feelings, these visceral emotion evoking feelings that we think of and that we experience when we're going through memories, whether it's future or past. The conscious doesn't know any different. So when she wrote this letter and it said, dear Gina, thank you for being such an incredible mother. Thank you for raising our son. You are such an incredible, powerful, amazing mom. I adore you. Like, I am so grateful that you have done all these things for him and have, I recognize you, I see you, I hear you, or something along those lines, right? And she said it completely changed the dynamic between them. And also it changed the way she was responding to him, right? She wasn't like, ugh, why is he asking me this question? Ugh, why doesn't he know that answer? Ugh, what is he bothering me about now? And she was able to react from this more centered space of neutrality, of love, and the whole dynamic changed, right? And so that Neville Goddard technique, you can write it from, from your future self. You can write it um, from that soulmate, right? From your kids. You can write it from your parents or any dynamic that you want to improve, or any from your future, bank accounts. Like you can write it that, we did it. We finally have that $5 million in the bank. And right now we're writing the check for our 7th investment property. We completely are thriving in all 7 of our businesses, right? 7 is coming up to right now in my field. So forever, anyone listening, I think 7 is meant for you in this moment. But you just play with it. Oh, we officially are on the cover of Vogue. Your cover of Vogue is insane. You're on billboards. You landed that acting role that you dreamed of, right? Like even on Instagram, I'm seeing these videos of the women who are sharing this past version of themselves, and they're talking to their future version. And it's really cool because they're having this dynamic, and they're like, hey, girl, how are you? And they're responding like, yeah, babe, we made it. And she's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I'm not with this guy anymore. No, you broke up, but you found the love of your life, and now you're married to your soulmate. And oh, am I still working at the, corporate company? And you're like, no, you left and you started your own business and you're making $10 million every year. And you're like, oh, and it's just beautiful. Like have that dialogue as your future self. And it's so powerful. So I just want to leave that with you guys. And then we can touch on one more question. Let's see. Okay, for the woman listening who knows that she's meant for more, woman or man, who knows that she's meant for more but feels stuck in the in-between, what is the first frequency shift she needs to make this week? And so I would say getting in the room with the people who are doing the things that you're doing is the number one thing that you should change. Normalizing the environment of the room, of the experiences, of the places, of the people, getting into that normalization of whatever it is you want to receive, right? So if there's a person who's doing the things that you want to do, hiring them as your mentor, getting in their spaces, and just operating in that room collectively with those people, that's what I would say is what you need to shift. Because the moment I did that, I became unrecognizable. The experiences that I have normalized, the conversations that are normal, you can't find that anywhere else. Like I just had this conversation with a good friend of mine. I said, if I just relied on my friend group that I've been friends with for 15 years in this moment, I would have only one person who remotely has any interest shared with me. Only one out of the friend group, right? And I said, but when we invest in our mentors, now I don't have only one. I have like 300 or 500 women who are these incredible, uplifting, resourceful, knowledgeable experts in these fields who are doing the things that I'm doing, who have already done 10 times what I've done, 20, 30 times what I've done, who are having these conversations, who are going from $400,000 months to $1 million months to $1 million days. And that's normal. This is what they're talking about over their coffee in the morning, And so I wouldn't have been able to really tap into that energy if I didn't get into that room. Because again, if I leaned onto my own knowing and my own environment, I would have only had one friend, and it wasn't at that scale, right? And so as I got into that room, that ripple effect, I'm rippling it onto my friend, and she's normalizing those conversations through our conversations. And it's just this beautiful ripple effect. And then I'm bringing this energy into my spaces, into the high vibe collective, where we are riffing on this stuff, where these beautiful, genius, creative women, visionaries, are operating from vision, not just goals and not just small talk or gossip or any of the other stuff that occurs with these experiences. So that would be my number one tip. And I feel super strongly about this stuff. So I hope that it lands in your field. And so I just want to share a beautiful, beautiful, special promo for anyone who subscribed to this channel. I want to offer a bonus. So if you join the High Vibe Collective, you get $88 off, and you get all of the videos from Play Bigger. You get all of the videos from Frequency Wealth. These are offers that are worth like $1,500 each. So for $222 minus $88 off your first month, you get to have all of these. And we also do bi-weekly calls. We get to tap into this energy. We get to tap into whatever it is you want to work on. We do coaching, we do activations, we do bi-weekly calls. We get to really get clear on your strategy, on your businesses, on your life, whatever problems or whatever things you want to improve, you want to enhance, you want to release, you want to expand into, whether it's millions to billions, whatever it is, this is the space for you. So this is your official invite to the High Vibe Collective. Day 2 for Play Bigger is tomorrow, but you can also get the replays. It will all be in the High Vibe Collective. So this is open and available to you like everything else, and all that you need is here right now in this moment. And I love you all, and I will see you guys next week. Mwah.